Hello everyone and welcome to my latest review of His Dark Materials Season 1, where today I review Episode 3, The Spies. Now before we begin, you may obviously notice that I am wearing new glasses. Yes, my eyes are fucked, to put it in perspective, so I had to get a new pair of glasses, which I'd already paid for, but I had to wait until the new year before I could collect them, and with this stupid COVID pandemic going on, it meant deliveries of everything were slowed down, but alas, here I am. I apologise for not getting to this review sooner, but I've had to work the past few days and I haven't really had the time to do it. So, the plot of Episode 3, The Spies, is as follows. From the clutches of the gobblers, Lyra finds help from an unlikely source, which helps her piece together more about her past and keeps safe from the Magisterium. And that, in short, is basically the plot of Episode 3. Well, Episode 3, The Spies, this is the best one so far. Definitely. I really like this episode. I really like this one because it gives more focus to the Egyptians and we get to understand more from their point of view. And this episode is really good because it also brings us certain revelations about Lyra's past. The first of which, spoiler alert, spoilers, being that Mrs. Coulter is Lyra's mother. Yes, it wasn't really that hard to work out given the way she'd been acting around her in the previous episode and the constant desperation she has in wanting to get Lyra back. And we see this obviously through Mrs. Coulter when she, smashes up the pillow and the feathers go everywhere. She's desperate to get her daughter back. Basically, we also discover that Lyra was taken away to the college by Lord Asriel, her father, because Asriel and Mrs. Coulter obviously had an affair and had Lyra, and then Edward Coulter, Mrs. Coulter's husband, had found out, and then he was consequently killed in a tragic confrontation. So it's all very dark. Well, the show is called His Dark Materials, so it's all very interesting stuff, but I really like Dafne Keen's performance in that scene. It's so raw, it's so emotional, how she just can't trust anyone. She has to be constantly hidden away by the Egyptians from the Magisterium, and she confronts Mark Costa and says, "Why is nobody telling me anything?" And Mar's like, "Well, there's some things that you're better not knowing." And she's like, "No, I want to know the truth. Why do people, keep things from me?" And then obviously she drops the bombshell that Mrs. Coulter's her mother, and she tells her everything. And Mark Costa was the one who took care of Lyra when she was a baby. She was like, she nursed her basically. So there is a sense of a maternal inkling there. And Mark Costa certainly feels protective over Lyra, which you can see. And she actually gives Lyra the love that she deserves. Because Mrs. Coulter kind of wanted to control her and make her like a mini version of herself. Whereas Mark Costa says to Lyra, "You can be whatever you want to be." There's a lovely scene when they're cooking in the kitchen. And she's like, "I'm going to teach you all these tricks." And then she says, "You know what, you should be whoever you want to be." And I think that is great. And I love the fact that the two of them instantly have a connection. So in a way, Lyra almost feels like family to the Egyptians. She just doesn't realise it yet. And again, Anne-Marie Duff as Mark Costa, she's very good. She's been a very good performer in this series. She's given so much emotion to this character. It's just brilliant to watch. Ruth Wilson as Mrs. Coulter, she is just chilling to watch. There's something very unsettling about her. Every time I watch her, I just get chills when I watch her. Her performance is so good, it really is. It's interesting how she wants Lyra back because ever since Lyra was born, Mrs. Coulter has never interacted with her. She's never bonded with her. And then when she took her away to bond with her, and then Lyra ran away, it's like, oh god, there's so many complicated emotions going through Mrs. Coulter's head. But at the same time, she wants the power. She wants, there's that power stronger. She wants to be at the top, she wants to be in control, and she wants everyone to do what she says. And there's a really complex character in there, and I think Ruth Wilson is just pitch perfect in this character. One of the more dramatic scenes as well is when Tony Costa, Billy's brother, and his friend Benjamin, they break into Mrs. Coulter's flat and they try and get information on the gobblers, which is a really dramatic sequence. Mrs. Coulter actually shoots Benjamin and has a confrontation with him. Tony manages to escape, but Benjamin is killed, or he kills himself. He jumps down the elevator because he refuses to betray his family and friends, which is very noble. It's a very noble way to go out, but it's a very dramatic sequence. And Mrs. Coulter fights him and wrestles him to the ground, and she's like, you have the chance to tell the truth here, you know, tell me who sent you, you know, it's just you and me. Ruth Wilson is creepy in that scene. She's so creepy, and especially when she has the gun. I actually felt terrified. I was like, oh my god. I constantly feel like Mrs. Coulter is unhinged. I don't know about anyone else, but I get the sense that any moment, snap, and she will go for you. The only thing I would criticise is some of her fight choreography was a bit ridiculous. She was like doing all this weird... She's almost acting a bit too similar to the monkey. I know that the monkey is her demon, but when she's got Benjamin on the floor, she's like doing all this and that. I just thought that was a bit silly, to be honest. That'd be my one criticism of this episode. The fight choreography could have been a bit better. It was a little silly, ridiculous. And it's very sad that Benjamin dies, obviously. He's not a character that we followed much, but the actor's very good in the scene. He looks very terrified, and again, his death is very noble. What is also intriguing about this episode is the fact that Lyra learns to read the alethiometer, and she has no training whatsoever. She has a God-given talent to read it, which is interesting. It is a bit quick how she does pick it up, but it's interesting when she connects the symbols and connects the dots, and she manages to work out before Tony comes back that Benjamin has died, which is a real shame. But Father Coram is then convinced, like, wow, this girl is special, really special. And there's also a great scene with Egyptians where they rally together and they're like, we're going to go to the north and we're going to get those kids back. And I love the fact that Lyra makes a great speech, and she says, you know, fighting back is the only way. You know, I'm frightened about what's going to happen. My mother is not going to stop until she gets what she wants. But Roger and Billy are more terrified. And I love the fact that Lyra is very loyal to her friends. That's just such an amazing quality. And that scene with all the Egyptians is just fantastic. I really like John Farr and Father Coram. They're very good in this episode. They get a bit more to do, and they definitely show a very caring side towards Lyra. At first, it sort of puzzles Lyra, because she's like, well, why are these people being like this to me? And then obviously when Mark Austin tells her the truth, it's like, oh, okay, I get it now. And then she feels a bit more reassured when she's with them, and she can trust them a bit more. But you can understand why Lyra would have trust issues. Once again, the visual effects and the CGI are superb. It looks fantastic. The budget, once again, is brilliant. I really appreciate that this one is tighter paced. The pacing moves very quickly, which is a nice contrast compared to the first two episodes, which are a little bit slow, but they needed to be slow in a way. Well, the first one did, in order to set everything up. And of course, the episode ends with the two spy flies flying in to get a look at Lyra, and then Mrs. Coulter realises, okay, she is with the Egyptians. So, oh dear, Lyra's got to run. She's got to run to the north. And that obviously leads into the end, where Lyra and co, they arrive in this place called Trosseland, where the next episode will take place. So overall, I really enjoyed this one. I thought it was a fantastic episode. Like I said, the only thing I didn't really like was the fight choreography. I thought that was a bit stupid, but otherwise, this is a very good episode, and probably the best one so far. And yeah, I'm going to give episode 3, The Spies, a 10 out of 10. Yeah, I think it's deserving of that. I think it's very dramatic, and this is where the story really starts to progress, and there's a lot of emotion in this one, particularly in that revelation scene. There is a lot of emotion. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this review, and stay tuned next time when I review episode 4, Armour. And after that, we will officially be halfway through the season, which will be, woohoo, great. So, thank you very much, and until next time, I'm Mr. TARDIS11. See you soon. Bye for now.